Crypto market overview, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm Roy Levine from Bulletproof Traders, and I want to talk about today on this video. I want to go over the market. Generally speaking, we're going to talk about the market. We're going to talk about the long-term perspective, the short-term perspective, and I'm going to do this through the eyes of 4 different assets. I'm talking about the EOS, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So let's go right ahead and dive in. This is going to be super interesting. Buckle up. I want to start with we're going to start with the Litecoin, guys, because here we see a lot of upside potential. Still very early stages though, because price action was landing hard during the month of March, and on April, it was starting to kind of bottom out. It was starting to get more stagnant, but it did check on 72.12. That's a massive support level, and we saw how price action kind of spiked it and backed off, and now it seems to be starting to turn around. So that's the bottoming out process we've had over the last, couple of months, mostly April. And now we're starting off with May, and we can see price action starting to build up some positive momentum. Very, very early stages still, right? From the weekly perspective, you can see it starts to change direction, right? It was on the back foot for a while, a few weeks, and now it's coming back up. For us to get into position, we want to wait until price action starts to break through 97.12. That's a big one. And our official trigger is actually 168. So once it starts to break through these two levels, establish itself above that area, because there's tons of resistance coming from that area. Once price action begins to break through, we're going to jump in and chase 132. 132.60, 132.50. That's a massive resistance level that's been challenged multiple times before, right? And that's the next big target for us with regards to the Litecoin. So we're waiting for the right moment to strike. Ethereum, interesting situation here. Long-term perspective, take a look at this. I see here a tipping point right at the bottom. We've been in a bear cycle ever since December. Ever since December 2024, we've been in a bear cycle. But price action went all the way, stretched out to the very last line of defense, last line of support, key level support, 1671. And you can see how it was able to hold and push against price action to the point it had to back off after that attempt to break through, which failed, right? So price action kind of pulled back up, signaling a bottom. I didn't expect price action to break down below 1671, to be honest. So now that it's here, I see a potential turning point long term, where price action is going to come back up, all the way up to where it basically to where it came from. The levels is 36.29. That is going to be our official profit target and final destination. I'm talking about medium to long term perspective here. Short to medium perspective. Short to medium term perspective, we have a secondary target at 25.95. That's another massive resistance key level. So we're we're gonna break down that upside potential into 2 separate stages. Stage 1 would be 25.95. Stage 2, 36.29. So what are we waiting for? Why are we not pulling the trigger right here, right now? Let me show you why. It's all about timing. On the timing aspect of it, I feel like we might have a bit of a downside move in the next day or two. In the next few days, we might have a drop back to 1747, because price is trading sideways in a very narrow trading range right now, representing the short-term cycle. So when are we going to pull the trigger with that upside potential that I was just talking about? Once price action breaks above 1858, right here, 1858, that's our trigger to get into that long-term bullish campaign. On the opposite, on the flip side, if price action is going to start to slide through below 1805, a very local support, we're probably going to attack here and try to catch a quick move on the downside, a quick, short position to 1747, finish up that move and then start to gear up for that big move that's coming our way, long-term perspective, like I said. So yeah, the trigger level officially is 1858. We're waiting for this to actually materialize. Once it does, we'll jump in. So that's the situation here with the Ethereum. Another interesting one is the Bitcoin Cash. It starts to knock on the door here, 378.20. That is the door. That is the gateway to a bull cycle. As far as I'm concerned, price action has been flirting around with that level for a few weeks now, for a few months actually. Take a look at this month already, touching base, right? Last month, just landed there, but couldn't really break through. And even the month before was having an attempt to break through, obviously failed. I think pricing is coming off a little bit, but again, similarly to what I said about the Ethereum, very, very short term. Eventually it's going to break through and ignite a full-blown upside move back to where it came from. The next big resistance key level, as you can see, 616.88, almost 613. That's going to be our official target and final destination once price action starts to cross over above 378.20. This is how it looks like from the weekly perspective. Multiple attempts to crack that level, that area. So far unsuccessful. I do believe it will be successful later down the road, so wait for it. All right, that's Bitcoin Cash. Last one, the fourth asset I wanted to talk about, EOS. Also very interesting. I mean, just look how aligned they all are with regards to a particular reference point, triggering level that's about to be taken, right? So in the case of the EOS, we're talking about 72.16, 0.7216. Take a look, pricing is just sitting on that level. It's been trying to drill through. Take a look at last month, failed. This month already sitting there. So once it starts to break through, we're going to be all over this, chasing 116.20, which is a significant move, right? Let me show you how it looks like from the weekly perspective. Price action already tried to penetrate, actually succeeded for a bit, but then drop again, and now again it's having a second attempt to break through 72.16. So far unsuccessful. But again, I said, like I said, I do believe it will be successful, and then we're going to be jumping in. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in synchronization with the Bitcoin Cash, the Ethereum, and the Litecoin. So, they're all going to support each other in that sense. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how this is going to unfold. I'm pretty sure we're going to be, we might be pulling the trigger in the next few days. So stick around. I'm going to come back, follow up, and keep you posted. In the meantime, guys, I wish you a nice trading day. See you in the next video. Take care.